welcome to Raymies Garage. So we're back at Apprentice Pats car again, although this is mine, and we're trying to still diagnose the rough running Range Rover. So what we've done, or what Pat done, was we basically set up the wee launch tool and we put in there the turbo what's it called?
Turbo commanded.
What's the name of the valve?
The turbine shutoff valve.
The turbine shutoff valve. So the turbine shutoff valve is on the secondary turbo on the left of the car, and it activates when you get to 2.5 to 3,000 RPM, brings the turbo in, the vacuum comes on, opens that valve to allow the turbo to work. So when we've done that, or Pat done that, basically what happened was it commanded 100% but only opened 60%, and then when it went to 60% we get the restricted performance light coming on here, and it stayed at 60% and the commanded one went back to 0. And we're going to try and download this device so we can show you that what happened there, but we're struggling to see how we get that video off there. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take my car, which is far superior, and we're going to set up the parameters to have a look at the valves while we'll take this for a run. We'll get up to 2,500 RPM. So we'll set that up and we'll let you see where we go for there. Back. Right, so we're about to go onto the M8 motorway heading east to Edinburgh. Temperature for the car's fine, it's quite a quiet road. We're now going to try and look at that. RPM's about 2. Here we go. Right, ready? Here we go. So commanded 100, actual 100, so yours opens right away, and I'm going to slow down. That's back to 2,000 and then switch back off again. Okay. Let's see if you can. It did.
It's just me red car.
It did do what it was supposed to do.
Aye. Very easily too. Almost instantaneous.
Instantaneous. So there's either something wrong. Yeah. There's something wrong with your turbo valve or the, what do you call it, the solenoid that's not opening it up properly, or something wrong with the vacuum that's not giving it enough vacuum to to open up the
Mine was
valve.
open up 2/3, then get in restricted mode 60% or 64%.
So I think we'll go back and see how easy it is to take one of the solenoids off, and we'll test the actual vacuum with our own wee vacuum gun to see if it's pulling a vacuum. Well, let Apprentice Pat bring his car in for a wee inspection, and we're looking at the turbine shut-off valve. So we've shown you the videos of the two different cars from the wee diagnostic tool, where Apprentice Pats is only going to about 64%. So there are 4 things that could probably be wrong with that, we think. So there is a position sensor on the turbine shut-off valve, which is an electrical connection connected to the ECU. Then we've actually got the actual shut-off valve itself. It could be stuck, there's a wee spring inside that, or we could have the turbine shut-off valve solenoid valve, which controls the vacuum to the actual shut-off valve itself, or it could be the hose. So we're just going to have a look, see if you can see anything, possibly just check the vacuum on it, and possibly take the solenoid out, and we'll change it with my solenoid valve from my car and see where we go for there. But hopefully stop the restricted performance when Apprentice Pat puts his foot down, which is not very often, I must say. Driving with Miss Daisy kind of encompasses his driving skills. Right, let's get the bonnet open, have a quick look to see. Let me take that cover off. Pull it harder. That's us. So, let me think. I think they are down there somewhere. These two solenoid valves that sit together.
Yeah,
Can you see them from that side? Aye.
You see any look at the top?
They're down in there. I grab the torch. So they're down in there. So we might take the air intake pipe off, this cover off, so as we can get a better view of them in there. But from here, you can definitely see it. And I'm hoping it's something simple. There's a bit of light. So there they're down there. Probably can't see that well. But I think we should maybe take this off, push it out the road, and we've got a better view of that. Right, so we've taken the right hand air box out and we've taken the intake pipe out. It gives us a bit of room, and now we can see the two solenoids. There's one there. Got it close to that. With the electrical connections coming out it in the centre of the screen. And there's one to the left of that, and I think they slide out, but according to the drawing I think it's this one here. It's the one on the left, and pipe number 2, and I'll try and put a drawing on the screen of that to pick the right pipe. No doubt we'll pick the wrong pipe.
It's this one.
It's the one in the back, aye.
That one there?
Yeah. So let's try and get our fingers in there and pull out the right pipe and put a wee vacuum pump on it. So we've got the wee vacuum pump on what we think is, well, number 2 in the diagram, which goes to the turbo shut-off valve. So Pat's going to pump that up. Could have extended that a wee bit, but however, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Now let's see what we've got now.
Oh, it's going the wrong way, the dial high.
It's a vacuum we're pulling. Right, so it's sitting there. I've had a wee look at that. It's not moving, so it's holding a vacuum. So it is. Whatever pipe it is, if I've got it right or wrong, but we think that's the right pipe. So that wee pin at the bottom is the pump, see it? The weight, and I'll go around the other side. You need to hold it in and hold it in. Right? So what we're trying to listen for is down here somewhere. Go. Never heard it, did you?
Aye.
Is it lost all its vacuum?
Not at all, no.
Aye, so you need to hold the pin in. Try and pump it up again.
Right, okay. So I need to hold the pin in.
Hold the pin right in.
Are you ready?
Let's listen.
Nothing.
Is the vacuum still on?
Yep.
Push the pin in.
I pushed it in.
There it's there now. Christ, I walked away and you got it. Right, pump it back up again. Right. Push the pin in and hold it with your nail. Yeah, did you hear it that time?
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's try that again, see if we can
Put it on film.
get it. It's definitely down in here somewhere, so we're assuming it's the turbocharger valve. Right, let's go.
You ready?
Yes. It sounds as if it's coming in there, if you're in here. Anyway, so that's what I've got to. Personally, I would try and take it off.
Aye.
So I would. It should slide out.
So you think it slides out?
No, I think it slides out that way. Aye.
Well, if I take this off then, I will leave this on.
If it's not on your road, I would leave it on. Now I've got the illuminations to illuminate where we are working.
So that's where the pipe went onto.
Yes.
So I'm going to grab that whole thing.
You're coming towards me?
Mm-hmm. I can't. I'm sure it's a slide on as well.
It feels solid in there. Let's get a wee look. Although the camera can see that, we can't.
What about your thing, mate?
Boroscope. Well, that's what I was trying to do with the wee mirror.
Just to see if there's a bolt there or...
Hold that a second. Get the right light on there. That's better. There's a wee tiny screw in there. That's the electrical connector. I don't know if this one pulls off the same as the other one. Well, we just had to change batteries there. He never dropped it, so we've got the two out. So it's now free. I think the only thing I can see, so I'm trying to look down here and do this at the same time, is the electrical connections holding it on.
And the hoses, obviously.
And the hoses, obviously, but I think the electrical connection you could probably bring it out a wee bit further to get a bit of a view on it. Right, so we've got it out and it sits in like that. There's a hose connection there and a hose connection there, and we think that one, this one here, is the one that goes to the turbo shut-off valve. Now, I wonder if this works. I think we could test it.
So the solenoid's in there?
Yes.
And does this move then?
No.
No.
It's just it's a solenoid valve, just a plunger if you want to call it, for want a better word. It moves inside that.
You notice on that, see if I just point out here. Do you notice on that there, you should put the screws in first.
So you could.
Put that on.
That's a good idea. Why didn't you think of that?
I've just thought it the other now. I've just noticed that, look.
Right, so
if you get the screw in there first,
you'll be able to put the screw at the bottom.
you'll be able to put the a lot easier
Right,
one.
go down and have a look.
Eh?
Go down and have a wee quick look at this, because it's good to see that. I know we can't see it, but that's the valve out. You'll see the pipe on the left and the pipe on the right, and the other pipe sitting over here. That's where we had the vacuum pump onto. I would like to get the car up on off-road height and lie under that, and you pump and press that till we hear that valve. Although I've got the engine in bits. Right, so I've got the solenoid out. I've got a wee 9-volt battery connected to here, and we're just trying to see if we can listen for a noise. I heard it there. So you can hear it going up and down. So it sounds as if it's working. So, let's just say, is that good news or bad news? So if we assume that's working,
It's got a vacuum.
It's got a vacuum.
So it's the worst case scenario.
So the only other thing it could be is, well, we're just not in a position now to change all that.
Aye.
Right? So we could either, at least we've tested that, we've got a vacuum, it's not losing a vacuum, and we can hear the plunger going back and forward, but is it creating enough of a vacuum to lift the valve, which it should be, or is it the position sensor actually on the valve? Yes. The electrical sensor.
So the next thing you test would be the position sensor.
How do you test that?
I don't know.
Right, well, you probably wonder what I'm doing under here. Well, I'm just finishing off my fuel tank, and I sprayed my fuel tank cover, and I sprayed that with that God, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put a wee picture of it. Is it Rapid or something like that? It leaves it a kind of a texture finish, so it looks all good under here. I've had the car out, it's all going fine, no issues. The fuel shield tank cover looks great. Anyway, getting back to the turbine shut-off valve on Apprentice Pats car. So just on that last section there, we showed you us trying to get the wee solenoid valve working and things like that. Then later in the week, Pat phoned me and said, I think that's the wrong valve we've tested. So we're going to do that again, but maybe not until Monday. This is the valve we're talking about up here, the turbine shut-off valve. But I'm going to go through what we've seen in the workshop manual that basically contradicts everything we were doing. We're actually on the wrong valve, but there are two different parts to the workshop manual that's telling us two different things, so I'll talk through that. So this is the part of the workshop manual that we were looking at to identify the turbine shut-off valve, a solenoid valve. And you see in this drawing it's number 2. Well, actually number 3 is the actual solenoid valve and number 2 is the hose. So that's the one we took off, and as I said before, Pat then phoned me and says he thinks he's looked at the workshop manual and it's a different valve, or solenoid valve. So that was fine. We had another look, and the other valve, or sorry, the other drawing looked like this, and the turbine intake shut-off valve solenoid is number 3, which is the one on the right. So after kind of looking at the workshop manuals, we discovered that that first picture was actually from a different car, a 3 litre. So this one here is the correct one. So hopefully today we're going to be testing the number 3 on this drawing, the turbine intake shut-off valve, for a vacuum, and we will have a look underneath just to see if the hose is burst or the valve's actually opening properly. So we made a bit of a mistake there by looking through the workshop manual, which has got about 6,000 pages on it, and we've picked the wrong picture of the wrong vehicle. So put our hands up to that. So we'll crack on, we'll get out and have a wee look at the correct solenoid valve for the turbine intake shut-off. The turbo actuator valve via this solenoid, because we got the wrong one the last time. So we're going to try and get that wee hose out. Once we get the hose out, we'll get the vacuum pump onto it and test it and see how we go. Right, so we're sure this is a hose. We'll put a wee vacuum pump on there. It's not the best of fit, to be fair. So it's not holding vacuum. Now I wonder if we could put the tool in the car, put the positions of the turbo valve to see if we can move it and see if it says in. You know what I'm saying? So we get the gap tool or whatever tool we need, to be launch tool, and we'll set up the commanded position and the actual position. Now you might not get the commanded position because the car's not on, but we might get the actual position. We'll try that, but it's definitely, unless it's looking there. Yeah, maybe we should put a wee clip on that, just to give you a seal. It's not taking any vacuum. It's none at all now. Okay, let's set that up. Right, so we've got that set up, got a wee clip on there, and it is creating a vacuum but not holding it very much. See how quick that's gone down? It's gone down quite. So what you got sorted out here, Pat, is what? I've got the valve commanded position and the valve actual position. Right, so you want to sit in there and I'll pump the vacuum. Right, they're both sitting at 0 at the moment. Both at 0. Right, hold on. Right, I'm ready to pump. Right, on you go. There you go. So it went to 4%, 16%, and it's rapidly going back down again. It's 16% there, look. So it did move when I've done that? So it did move right away. And it's back down to 0 again. I only done it a wee bit. Let me see if I can pump a wee vacuum a wee bit more than that. But anyway, it's actually still going down. Right, here we go. What percentage are we at now? That's at 45%. Right, let me try and keep going. 50%. 100%. 100? Aye. Right, it's okay. And it is dropping. See that? Still at 100%. Right, let's see how long it stays there though. Because the vacuum's dropping. So in theory that should be back down again. Aye. So it's stuck open basically. Could be stuck open. Let me release the vacuum quickly and we'll see, because it's holding a bit of a better vacuum this time, so we'll release that.
So it's down to 70.
So that's it, got no vacuum on it.
But it's still at 70.
So what I'll do this time, but it's still at 70, it must be stuck then.
It must be stuck open 70%. So it's sticking.
But we kind of said that all along, didn't we?
Aye. So we're trying to establish if it's a hose or the valve. And according to that, it looks like the valve.
Aye. Or a combination of both. So 70.98.
Aye.
And there's no vacuum on it at all.
Aye.
So what you could do is take that pipe back off, put it back onto the solenoid, then start it up and see what happens.
Right. Aye, because there's no... Oh, there you go, look. I'm also getting, if you look in the dashboard, I'm getting a restricted performance
Alright.
message.
Maybe that's caused by that being stuck.
It's because of that being stuck.
So I think our next step is to change... the valve.
Yeah.
So here we are again, dealing with Apprentice Pats rough running Range Rover. So what we think, well, first of all, this is a secondary turbo. That's the one that sits on the left of the engine as you're sitting in the car. For the 4.4 STD-V8, that's wrong, SDV8. When I bought this turbo from eBay, particularly just to get this actuated valve here. Now the new actuated valve for this turbo is about £500 or £600 according to Apprentice Pat. So we decided to buy this one off eBay. We got it for a pretty good price, to be fair, which was £239 for the whole turbo. And I did notice on the turbo it said warranty void if removed. No doubt that's because it's been balanced. We don't know if the turbo's good. We're assuming so. There's nothing to suggest otherwise. But anyway, that's the primary purpose, is to try and remove this valve and hopefully check it and make sure it's working okay. This is the vacuum hose that goes on here. This is an electrical connector. I'm assuming the electrical connector is just for a signal to tell the ECU that the actuator valve's in a opened or closed position. So what's happening with Pat is that when he boots it to 2,500 RPM, this valve should open, and it says 100% commanded open, but it's only open about 60%. So hopefully we can take this off, give it a wee test, make sure it's all nice and free, and we'll get this one fitted to Pat's car. And if it's successful, it will only cost him £239 rather than £600 for a new one. And if it doesn't work, well, he's got an old turbo we can play with for 239 quid. Anyway, that's the plan, but it's interesting to see the turbo. I'm not 100% sure which way this sits on the car. I think it's like that, or something like that. And I would imagine that's the oil feed into the turbo, which is a bit worrying that that's lying open. So we'll try and get that blocked off to save any debris getting in there. And this pipe here at the bottom is the turbo drain. I'm not 100% sure what that is there. It looks like two drain pipes, but I'll have a look at the drawings or the workshop manual and see. And there's the turbo in there. Hopefully we can see that. It is turning reasonably freely. Anyway, let's go on with it. We'll take this off. We'll go under Pat's car when he's here, and we'll test this and get it fitted. Right, so this is where we are. We've got the exhaust off. We've got, well, this bracket here, where the valve comes on to. We actually just managed to turn that because it's a nightmare to get that wee bolt in there. And this is the turbo valve. So we've disconnected it. The only other thing that's on it is the actual vacuum hose. So let's see, I've got all the wee things out, all the wee Torx bolts, and it is coming out. So I just think I need a wee kind of screwdriver type thing pat to take the hose off, but it is coming out. I think that's the only thing that's stopping us to start the
electrical connection off, aye.
Electrical connection's off.
You want a screwdriver?
Aye, so let's see if I can hold that camera up and do this at the same time. You need to watch where you're pointing it, right? You got it? I'm going to move it now, watching. There we go. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. I'm just trying to get this screwdriver at the end of that wee bit of hose. I think that's us off now. And this should come out. There it is. I'll hand that to Apprentice Pats. Last subs and take the.
There's a gasket coming from that.
Aye, what's that come off there? And there's another wee gasket there, Pat. So that's that. What I was saying there is this bit here, we actually have to just pivot that because that bolt up there is so tight.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get that on the bench and have a wee look at it in comparison to the other one. Right, so this is it on the bench, the one we've just taken out the car. Looks quite oily, doesn't it?
It does,
a lot of carbon. This is the one we kind of greased up, if you want to call it. So got it connected up. You can see it moving nicely. So that's taken about 20 there. Release that. So that was nice and smooth.
And it returns to the
original position. Let's try this now. I haven't tried this before. The shaft's moving. See it? But that's not.
oh,
Oh, there it's starting to. Oh, it's sticky as fuck. Oh. Now let's release that. So I watched the shaft move there, and that didn't move. See if you can get a wee video of that part. See the shaft moving?
oh, that's moving now. Look, that's 3 times, 4 times, 5 times.
Then it's pulling that
Then
out.
it's starting to pull the valve.
That's it into position. I did push it back, so the spring in there seems to be alright.
Right.
Let's try that again. That is definitely effect. That's what's the problem, it's sticking.
It's sticking in it.
Let's have a go at this one again. We'll bring that to the front. Have a look at the shaft on that. And this is off the second-hand turbo we bought. See it all moving at once?
All moved at once, aye.
Once more time. I have lubricated that up there.
You wonder why then, is the shaft not connected to that? Or what, why would that shaft move?
I don't know. Let's try that again.
That seems a bit odd.
Well, it's good that we found that because that's what we're indicating on the diagnostic tool that that's sticking.
Yes.
So when it's commanded 100%, obviously it's got a better vacuum than this. That's going pulling, it's sticking a wee bit.
It's pulling the shaft first and then the
That
valve.
shaft moving.
It's taking a lot more.
And it's very jerky.
It's taking a lot more suction too.
Even coming back, it's sticking there. So maybe dismantle that at a later date. For me, I'd put that straight back in again.
Yep.
So I would, because I've lubed all that shaft in there, I've had all that off, cleaned all the carbon out of here. So I think we basically fire that back in, connect it back up again, and I think that might solve your problem of the rough running Range Rover. Right, let's get to it then, and we'll get this back in. Right, so we're under the car. So hopefully we can see that. I'll get the camera up there. We've got the other valve on. And it's up there. Up there. So fitted, no problem. It is a wee bit awkward to get the wee kind of torque screws out, but it's on nonetheless. And what I'm going to do now is to try it, what we done earlier. And what we've done here, basically we took the exhaust off, just dropped it down enough to get access to that. That all went fairly well. That all went fairly well on that side. Get the exhaust back on again. So let's go up the top and we'll give it a go to see if it opens on command at 100% rather than getting stuck at 67. And Apprentice Pats away home, he abandoned ship because he said he was too old and tired, but hey ho, I just soldiered on myself here and got it all back together. Took us a few hours, but let's go up top and we'll get the diagnostic tool on it and see what it does. Right, we're in the car. Get the tool, hopefully we can see that. Right. Get the ignition on first. So it's still in these settings. You probably can't see that, but I'll try and put it there so you can. So we're still in the settings of turbo shut-off valve operating position commanded 0, turbo shut-off valve operating position measured 5%. So the last time we spoke earlier this afternoon, that was at 60. I've no doubt there's going to be quite a lot of codes on the car because with the exhaust sensors disconnected. I do have a yellow light on the car, yellow triangle. So let's start the car. Right, so that'll be the bonnet open. This usually takes about 3 minutes to engage the secondary turbo to open that valve. So I'm just going to hold this and wait, but I'll fast forward that. So we're looking for the commanded to be 100% and the operating position measured should be 100%. Then when I touch the throttle or the accelerator, that should then go to 0, and they should both go to 0. And the last time you seen this was sticking around about that 60% mark. So there you go, commanded 100%, actual 100%. So that's working the way it should be working. And I'm going to touch accelerator and they should both go to 0 immediately. So here we go. There you go, it went to 5%. So that's working much better than the original valve, which is excellent. Right, so that's it done and dusted. The new valve's in and we'll wait till Apprentice Pat comes back tomorrow. We'll get it on the road and we'll see if we've lost that restricted performance on the rough running Range Rover. See how it goes for there. Right, so we're going to take it out for a wee drive. I was thinking maybe I should roll it rather than Apprentice Pat. He's 2 feet up to put his foot down. Anyway, we'll get it out and we'll get it on the road. Right, so we're on our test drive. Apprentice Pat's chug-a-bug, we'll call that. It seems to be missing or not firing right. So we'll get onto the usual M8 motorway. So we're watching for smoke coming out the back here. And we're going to be looking for the commanded position and actual position of the turbo shut-off valve.
So we've cleared all the codes. We can't see any codes relating to the performance of the engine.
Right, usual M8 towards Edinburgh. Going to bring up to about 3000 RPM to see if we get the restricted performance, and you're going to try and watch that as well, Pat. Commanded in actual.
That's it, both went to 100% right away.
Not a lot of smoke, to be fair. Still at 100. What was that?
Don't know. Was that a horn? No.
No.
That's back down again to 0 and 4%.
Aye.
So it's hard to film it.
So it didn't have a restricted performance?
No, so it's went up, it's opened up the second turbo. It's opened up the second turbo and it's worked. Then it's went back off again, although it's went down to 5% rather than 0% on the position rather than the commanded. But it definitely, as soon as you opened the throttle, it both jumped up to 100%.
Aye.
So they did. Unless that's just doing the wee calibration that. As long as the brakes are working.
Well, every time I've done that, it's
any restricted performance.
restricted performance. But it feels very lethargic, this car.
Aye. There's something else not quite right.
No.
It doesn't feel as lively and responsive as yours and Laura's. And I don't know what that noise was.
Soon find out again, do it again. I think it sounded like a fan in here or something. Let's try again.
There you go, both went to 100% right away. As soon as you got to 2,500 RPM mark. That's him back down again, and then back up again. Is that the brakes?
No, it's not a horn. A speed limit are you going at again? No?
No, not as far as I know, no.
90 mile an hour. Hell's fire's that. Take it back to 90.
They're coming for the fan or something?
It's bizarre. So the whole point is doing that was to change that valve to allow it to go to the 2,500 RPM and not go into restricted performance, which it's done.
Engaging the second turbo.
Aye. And there wasn't a lot of smoke coming out the back of it, by the way.
No.
No. Right, that's us back. Problem solved. The turbine shut-off valves working fine. Although we still think there's a slight other problem with this car, but all went well. And thanks for watching the video, guys. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now.
Bye.